welcome back to another video. As you will see, not all the makeup is done, and I apologise for any sound issues today. I've lost my microphone. I don't know where it is. I've had a tidy up, which you'll probably see in, or have seen in last week's video, and I don't know where I've put it. So if the sound's awful, I've got another one on order, so hopefully by the next video everything will be fine. I genuinely don't know what I've done with it. I've put it away safe, and you know what it's like, you put things away safe, never to be found again. And where I thought it was, no. So what are we doing today? I've left my face half done on purpose because I'm going to do a little get ready with me. I have my makeup brushes ready. I'm only doing my eyes, so don't get too excited. But I have my makeup brushes, all of them. I probably don't need all of them, but I'm going to get them all out just in case. Because I have acquired a new makeup palette. And I know in my makeup challenge I said, or in this year's video, first video, where I've said about this year's challenge, I'm not buying any makeup. This actually came into my possession just after Christmas and before the new year, so it wasn't in 2022. I have in my possession this. The controversial Jemima Puddle Duck, as it will be known. And I'm going to compare it by doing a little test with the VE Cosmetics Grimoire, which I've had for quite a while. And I believe I did a kind of get ready with me prior to my time on YouTube, back on Facebook when this first came out. There have been some changes to this since it came out. There is now a Mark II, which I will explain. But I wanted to compare it to this one. Now, Jemima Puddle Duck, there is a whole issue in general, and I'm not saying support the brand, I'm not saying don't support the brand, I'm saying do what you like. I don't support, and this was not purchased by me, and it was not, you know, I haven't gone out and paid for this the amount of money it is. So enough waffling. I have not opened this. A friend of mine has opened this and has looked at it. I actually haven't looked at it, certainly not in daylight. I saw it in the car kind of out of one eye and didn't really take much notice. But I thought it'd be a good chance to compare the two and give some thoughts. And I'm probably a bit late to the party, but do you know what? Who cares? Who cares? So I'm going to start with this one, because this is the one I know about. So this is the VE Cosmetics Grimoire Palette. It's the original Grimoire Palette. It comes in this lovely, slightly holographic, I want to say holographic, but it's matte, so it's pearlized, I suppose. Covering, it has lovely large prints on the back, so you can see what's in it. And it is from a UK small brand called VE Cosmetics. They do all vegan, cruelty-free, really nice products. I don't have many of their products. I have some lipsticks and I have this. And I believe I have another palette, but I can't remember the name of it. But this one caught my eye as kind of a really good all-round gothish palette. So it comes in this little sleeve. Excuse me. Comes in this sleeve, and you will see that the sleeve and the palette itself are the same. Now, since making this one, they have changed. They took under recommendation from people who have bought this and changed this to a black version, and they have also done a Grimoire Book of Shadows, I believe, version 2. Not my choice of colours, so I didn't get that one. But this was the absolute original. So it's fab. It comes in like this little book, and it comes upright. It has a really cool mirror. There you can see yourself filming me, filming you, filming you. Let's not do that. But it has a good sized mirror. and without blinding myself on my lamp, these are the colours that it has. So you have your kind of grey tones into a white or a creamy white. You have darker tones into a kind of starter colour. This is what I call a starter colour for me. You have more greys into a pure white. You have some lovely metallic shades into this lovely silver. And you have some more greeny shades down here. It's a really good palette for colour combos. You've got some, so you have, I don't know how well you can see it, but let me explain. So these are your black shades. So you have which is kind of a shimmery black. You have a matte black, which is Believe. You have and it's more of a charcoal black. You then have a dark black matte, which is called Do. You have a really sparkly, which I love, really sparkly black, called Embrace. And then you have this one, which is like a browny purpley. In fact, if I hold it like that, you can tell, kind of a browny purpley shade. You then have some shimmer greys. So you have a dark silver. You have, and it's not quite a foil, but it has more shimmer in it than the next shade. So this is definitely a shimmer. This is more of a foil, but not quite. It's just got some more chunky glitter in it. You have like a bluey grey. You have I believe this one's duochrome. It's like a green, really dark mossy green with some silver flecks in it. You have a moss green and you have a khaki green. And then down the side you have this colour, Magic. I love this. It's like, reminds me of the Colourpop one I use a lot for my inner corner. It's a pinky peachy based white with white shimmer in it as well. You have a matte, like I said, like flesh tone, which I use for under all my, what's the words I'm looking for? It's the first thing I put on all over my eyelid before I do any transition colours normally. You have a plain white. You have this one, which is very similar to this one, but it has bigger glitter pieces in it. And I don't know if you can see, it's slightly multi-glitter, whereas this is a straight glitter. This has got kind of multicoloured glitter in it. It's really cool, that one. And then you have a brighter green here. So if you're looking for that kind of zombie gothic, witchy gothic look, this is a really nice kind of starter palette. It has your highlight tones, it has your starter tone, it has some nice darker transition tones, and then it has like your real crease and kind of outer colours, which I really like. There are a lot of colour combinations you can do with this one, and for a 15 palette, 15 shade palette was what I meant to say, it's really good value for money. I believe this one cost me about £28. So that's the Grimoire, and I will be testing it in a minute. I'm going to do one on each eye. This is the Cremated. Now this has a silky feel. I presume this one would be easier to clean. Like I said, this one did get changed to a black palette, and because this one did get dirty quite a lot, I tend to wipe my palettes down after I've used them, so I try not to get them too dirty. But this has, the outer cover has that glossy feel to it, and you can see it reflecting. The Cremated is in cutout, as you can see there, without damaging it too much, and it's your typical palette box. Looks kind of marbled. The ingredients on the back, just to show you the difference. One legible, one I need a magnifying glass for. So I know that Jeffree Star is vegan and cruelty free. At least they say they are. I hope they are. Yeah. Right, I was just reading the back because there seems to be a lot of French on the back, which is a bit... oh well. Let's get into the palette. So you have Jemima Puddle Duck on the front, looking grey, and on the back you have the Jemima Puddle Duck logo and details there. Again, it's a nice glossy one, it's easy to clean, and it feels quite a nice weighty palette, as most of these ones tend to do. This one feels quite light in comparison, but it doesn't feel of any less value. Now, this one, like I said, I think was £28. This one retails £55, I believe. Is the cover worth £55? I don't know. People will probably say it's more about the product. So let's have a look. And this is where this palette gets a bit controversial. So you have your mirror, again, a nice big mirror. Sorry if I'm blinding you, blah, 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 blah. Look at yourselves in the pictures. Look at that. Look at that. You can see yourselves. You can see yourselves. Yeah, I know that's not how it works. Obviously, it comes with a protector, and these are the colours. So, first impressions. They're very similar, aren't they? I suppose these two are what you would term your, or what I would use as a base colour. However, this one is very, just put my finger in that, that's helpful. That is very shimmery. I don't know if that's showing up on camera, but it is very shimmery. Now, I wouldn't use a shimmer as my base. This one, however, I feel is a little bit too sage coloured for a base colour. So a little disappointing there's no basic colour in there. I'm also seeing on first impressions quite a few colours that look very, very similar. For example, this one, sorry, this one and this one. There's not much in it. Similarly, this one and this one. Yeah, it's not what I would term a goth palette. I know it was marketed as a goth palette. For me, there are a lot of shimmers in there. There are, so in this palette there's what, 12, 16, 20, 24 colours, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 shimmer colours. There looks to be more than that, whether it's just an optical illusion. There are some nice matte shades. For me, there's too much in the kind of muted neutral that probably for something that was marketed as a goth palette wouldn't necessarily show up on those of us that have very pale, your typical goth look. I suppose if you are someone who uses a lot of white in your foundation, it may work. I'm not as excited about the colours as I feel I should be. I do like this colour. This is kind of like what we're talking about, like a mushroomy purple colour. That's really nice. But there's no real standout colours. There is a matte black and a shimmer black. But let's put the two side by side. I'm going to test the formulas on my skin. So let's see if I can get this one open. I feel for a 24 colour palette, there's not enough colour, in the sense of it's all very in the same tone. Whereas in the VE Cosmetics one, you get your greens, you get your purple base, you've got kind of blue based. They're slightly more bold in colour, which I could probably do more with. This one feels very muted and kind of in that, I don't know, maybe he was going for an ash look. I'm not sure. I don't feel that this palette stands out colour-wise as much as this one. But I know that the formulas will be good. So it's a payoff. I prefer the darker options here, although they're not showing on camera as much. There are different shades in there for the darker tones. Here there aren't that many deep dark tones. I'd say you've got your matte black, your equivalent shimmery black, that kind of mushroomy dark tone. There's quite a few that seem to be very similar when I look at them, but I feel there's a lot of colours in this one that are excess to maybe if it was cut down to a 15 colour palette. I don't know, but let's put them to the test and see what we think. So I'm going to start with the Grimoire palette, and what I'm going to do is do one eye and then try and match it up using this one, and hopefully we'll do okay. So I'm going to have to keep this one open to look for similar colours. So I'm definitely going to have to use that mushroomy purple colour, I think. I'm going to use the black, the holographic creamy white, and the base colours, and see where we go. So as you know, I'm not a professional makeup artist, so don't come at me. I'm really not. Okay, so let's see where we go with this. Let's start with our base colour. So I'm going to take this one and see what happens. So I hope you're all having a good year so far. Hello Pussycat, can you not scrape at my knee please, while I'm trying very hard to do some makeup, because, you know. Oh. So you probably can't see that one yet. I try not to do a mass amount on my base. It's just kind of to even out my eye tone a little bit, and to also get something to blend my transition colour into. So I'm going to next work with, oh, I'm spoiled now. What am I going to go in with? Don't know. Let's go with, I'm going to use this one here, which is this kind of dark mushroomy colour. And I'm just going to, this is not going to be a particularly complicated eye look. Just going for something fairly simple, just to see how the colours play out with each other. And what I have totally forgotten to do is my eyeliner. We'll bring any eyeliner, but that's okay. We will cope today without any eyeliner. I said I'm not a professional, and my lighting isn't square on, which is probably also causing a problem. So I'm going to move around that way slightly. That's a bit better for you. That's a bit better. I'm just going to bring a little bit more of that colour up and out. And this is obviously going to be quite a smoky, dark look. Got a bit of fallout, but I can deal with that. So I do find, and this, I have used this palette a few times, I do find it, the darker colours do tend to fall out quite a bit. But I will live with it. I will live with it. So where do we go next? So I'm going to take the matte black, which is the one right in the middle here, and I'm going to kind of use that as my eyeliner effect. As I don't have any eyeliner on me today. I'm just going to bring that across. And this is quite a pigmented black, to be able to use this as effectively an eyeliner, or instead of an eyeliner, just to create that winged look. But again, I am getting quite a bit of fallout, which I'm trying not to brush across my face. So next I'm going to take, what else have I got that's similar? That one. So I'm going to take this kind of bluey silver one here, this shimmer. I'm going to very lightly tap off the excess and just, without getting everything in my hair, just see if I can blend this bit out a little bit. Like I said, I'm not going overboard. I just want to do a very simple look. Nothing too strenuous. That's better. I do have, anyone who's new here, I do have hooded eyes. I am not a youngster, so bear with any eye creases, etc. Okay, so under my eye, there is a khaki in the Grimoire palette, so I'm going to take this one here on the clean side of my brush, and I'm going to put that under my eye. And then for the corner of my eye, if I can find the right brush, I'm going to take this one here, which is a sparkly cream like this one, and just pop that in the corner. I do find with this one you do have to pick up quite a bit of product to get the payoff that I like. There we go. Just going to pat that into the corner just to brighten that up a little bit. And I'm just going to go back to my brush, if I can find where I've just put it. Do you know what? I'd love it if I was organised, but I never am. I try all the time to be organised. I probably dropped it. I've probably dropped it. Nope, here we are. This one. And just take a little bit of that matte black again. Just tidy up that wing a little bit there. And drag that black under the eye. Okay, let's just take a little bit more of that kind of mushroomy colour, just a tiny amount, and just darken that crease. So, like I said, I'm not a professional, but that is the Grimoire side. So I'm going to try and recreate this on this eye using the Jemima Puddle Duck palette, which I've managed to already wreck. So I'm going to start off with this one, which is the closest I have to the main colour. I'll pop that on my brush. Let's see what happens. Now, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but like I said, this one is a shimmer. I don't normally do my base with a shimmer, but I kind of have no choice at this point because it's the only option I have, which is a little disappointing. I don't feel that this one is the right one for me to use as a base, so I kind of need that one just to even out my eyelid. But that's pretty shimmery. Okay, let's go with the next match, which is this one here, which is called Solemnly Swear. I think that's the closest. No, actually it's going to be this one up here, which is called Gravedigger. So I'm just going to take a bit of that, tap off the excess, and do exactly the same as I did on the other eye, and kind of use this as my base. And I've just realised I've forgotten to do something on this eye, so I will come back to that. I hope you are liking my new filming area. I was trying to do something a little bit more exciting for you all. Not necessarily having to look at my bedroom all the time. So yeah, this is my filming area. There's some various different bits, and if you want to know more about where all these bits come from and see a little bit more of the area I've got, watch last week's video. I do a tour. Okay, so we are now on to, she's put it down again, hasn't she? She's put the brush down and she doesn't know where she's put it. There it is, it's hiding. It's because it's the same colour as my unit. So again, yep, she dropped the palette, which means she now has makeup all over herself. Excellent. So we're going to go in with this one. This is called Hearse, and again, tap off a bit of the excess and try and recreate that wing. And I do like doing this sometimes, you know, if I don't have, I can't be bothered with eyeliner, or I'm not feeling the eyeliner, which can sometimes be a little bit drying. I will do this with an eyeshadow. The only thing is it's not very precise, so you do end up, I end up making a mess. Now, I'm already finding fallout here and here. So far, I'm not happy with this at all. But we will persevere and we will keep going, and we will see how far I can get, because this is the whole point of this tryout. So next, what did we do next? We did the wing, we blended out, didn't we? So I need to take the closest one I can find to that bluey silver, which is this one, and blend out. This is called Mortuary Beautician. It's a very nice colour. I'm just going to see if I can blend out. It does go on very nicely. Probably has a little bit more payoff, that one, than the previous one. It's okay. I like that one. I do like that colour. That's got a nice payoff to it. So the next one, what did we do? We went under the eye. So I need my little brush. So the only kind of green based one I've got here is this khaki one, which is slightly more yellow than the Grimoire palette, but we will give it a go. So we're going to take this under the eye. And then go back in with my black and just join that under there. Now for my highlight, as per the other one, we need to use this creamy sparkly white down here, which seems to be quite pigmented with shimmer. So we'll see how this looks. Now that's a good shimmer. I do like that colour. I do like the payoff. And Yeah, that's quite nice. I'm a little bit... See, now that's what I didn't want to do. Bear with me 2 moments. And we're back. Forgot to get the wipes. So, all the foundation I put on originally, I'm going to have to wipe off. Because yes, I am somebody that does my foundation before my eye makeup. If you've watched my Get Ready With Me's in the past, you'll know that that's what I do. Just have to cope with it. So I'm just going to borrow from that VE Cosmetics palette. That kind of matte shade. Just so as I don't look like I have bright red cheeks. Let's kind of even that out a little bit. There. You'll never know. You'll never know. So I'm just going to do one more thing. I'm going to get my trusted little, tiny little brush that I love. I love these Morphe brushes. I managed to get a pack of 3 of them. And they are just, they're fabulous. They're so tiny. And they're great for what I'm about to do. So, I am going to compare this shiny silver with the holographic dark silver in the VE Cosmetics palette. And what I'm going to do is slightly wet my brush. I'm going to take a bit of that silver. So we're still in the Jemima Puddle Duck Cremated Palette. And we're going to just add a bit of brightness like I would normally do when I have eyeliner on, just across the eyelid there. And I'm just going to go in with the VE Cosmetics one. Excuse me licking my brush, I know. And try and do the same on this side. Okay, let me just slap on a little bit of lipstick. Without wrecking my palettes. I'll finish off. This is the Kiko in colour 09. Doesn't have a name, but it's just a bit of a pinky nude. And last but not least, a little bit of mascara just to complete the look, and I'll give you my thoughts. Again, this is the Kiko waterproof extra volume, I believe. Not going to bother with false lashes today. And we're done. So what do we think? It's a tough one, to be honest. I feel that the darker silver on this one has a better colour payoff. However, it kind of just becomes dark. It's a... you can't really tell much between the mushroomy purple colour and the dark silver. Whereas on this one you've definitely got more of a definite change in colour. The black as a eyeliner, they're both pretty pigmented blacks, they work very well. And the silvers on the eyelid. I'd say this one has a bit more holographic colour to it, but they are very, very similar. And again, on my skin tone, the two khaki colours look very much the same. So is the Jemima Puddle Duck palette at £55 compared to the Grimoire palette at £28 worth it? I'm glad that I've got to try both. I am not a massive Jemima Puddle Duck fan. I do like to support small businesses, so if I had a choice, and I did, this is where my money would go. Packaging wise, this for me is easier to clean, so I will give that, you know, a bit of a higher bonus for that one. It's a slightly, the heaviness of the palette is slightly awkward for me to hold in one hand and use and film, and I know that's not a standard situation when we're thinking about doing our makeup. We are more, you know, palette down, hand mirror, etc. But this one's easier to handle. Fallout, biggest problem. So I know I have used the green in this one and it has fallout. The black, however, did not fall out as much as this one, and neither did the purpley grey fall out as much as this one. I feel that this one made quite a mess, whereas for somebody like me who puts their face makeup on before doing their eyes, this one would be easier to handle. If I needed to deal with fallout, this one I would pretty much be starting again with my foundation underneath. As you saw, I had to take a lot of it off. For the money, this one has my vote. £28, 15 colours. They're all very different. Excuse me. They're all very different. They're all very usable. They're all very mixable. There's a lot of options. You can do a green kind of a green smoky look. You can go for a darker smoky look. You can do a silver smoky look. This one is all very much, it's very much the same. You know, there's a lot of subtle changes to tone, but in general for me there's too many of the same colour, whereas this one has a lot more colour potential with the tones of green, whereas this has a lot of kind of just muted greys. This colour compared to, sorry, all fingers and thumbs, compared to this one, for me, there's just no comparison. This one is far too shimmery for a base colour for me. I don't know how you feel about base colours, but certainly this one for me is way too shimmery. I prefer the matte version, so this one has my vote. The dark silvery colours, the dark bluey, the colour payoff on this one was better. It's 50-50. I think at the end of the day you need to look at who you would prefer to support, a issue-based conglomerate or a UK brand. I would much prefer to support VE Cosmetics over Jemima Puddle Duck, purely because I just don't think, I feel this has seen what this has done or similar items has done and copied it. I feel that if you're looking for a dark gothy palette, this has the options that you need, certainly for smoky looks. I love the fact that it's got the pop of green. If it had a darker purple in here, this would be heaven for me. I would probably change out maybe these two. Sorry, not these two, these top two, because I've got the matte black there and the shimmer black that I adore. I would probably change out these two for maybe a darker purple toned, more of a jewel toned colour, and maybe a darker blue toned, just to give you a few more options. But I think the amount of silvers and greys in this one is great. And I love the fact that you've got the option of the khakis, which just gives your look a little bit something different. This one is all very, I feel this would be a really good palette if the muted colours were bold. So I feel this one's as if you've taken a really good colour palette and then turned it into a black and white photograph, if that makes sense. It's as if the colours, you know, like this should be a dark blue and this should be a bright pink, you know, just something. I could get rid of this row quite happily and it would make no difference to the palette to me, in my opinion. This row to me is almost redundant. You've got your lighter colours down here, you've got your shimmer shades, you've got your black, you've got a khaki. This row is almost redundant. There's nothing popping about that row because in this colour here you have this. You know, it just doesn't, it doesn't give me that wow factor that I would need in a palette of this amount, for this amount of money with this many shades. It's okay if, you know, if you're into lots of greys and muted tones. Obviously it looks slightly different on camera to the way I'm looking at it here, and I do have a lot of lighting on, but there are a lot of very, very similar shades. So yeah, I don't think it's one that I don't know. It's not one I'm going to use a lot anyway. I think I'm very pleased that I acquired it without having to spend £55 on it. And yeah, I'll let you make your own mind up. So again, this is the look. So this is the VE Cosmetics eye, and this is the Jemima Puddle Duck eye. Tell me your thoughts. Comment down below which one you prefer. If you have both palettes, comment down below what you think. Which one do you go to more? Which one gives you more looks? I'd love to know what you think. So I'm going to leave it there for today because I probably rambled on way too much. I hope you are having a fabulous January, and I will see you in my next video. And as always, my wonderful ravens, just do you.